Pat Robertson isn't mincing words anymore. He is just saying straight up, gay people are terrorists. This is an often repeated meme from the right. Being forced not to discriminate against gays is a form of discrimination. A law that prevents religious intolerance of gays is intolerant to people's so-called religious beliefs or something like that. Here's Pat Robertson. He can certainly say it way better than I can.
There's one thing to want to persuade somebody to believe like you do. That's what Christianity is about, to bring the gospel message, say this is good news and we'd like you to accept it. That's one thing. There's something else, to take the arm of the government to force somebody to do something that is against, is contrary to their religion. And that's what these homosexuals are trying to do. They're trying to force people who are Christians to marry them or else face jail, to make cakes honoring them or else go to jail, and give their servants over and divulge their innermost thoughts or go to jail. Now, that's the kind of thing we're dealing with. These people are terrorists, they're radicals, and they're extremists. No Christian in his right mind would ever try to enforce somebody against their belief or else.
It's so funny, Lewis, because Christians all the time try to force people against their beliefs with everything from public establishments of religion, arguing that the non-religious must accept their discrimination based on their so-called sincerely held religious beliefs. It happens in the Middle East with Muslims all the time. We talk about it. It happens here in the U.S. with Christians all the time. Remember that no one who has refused to marry same-sex couples or bake a cake has gone to jail, Lewis, and that really should tell us a lot. Pat Robertson at this point is getting so, even for the standards and what we've come to expect of Pat Robertson, so out there. Gay people are terrorists?
He's such a strange guy because he'll say this and then he'll tell you that he thinks transgender people are fine. And he's just, I think even he is confused on his own stances sometimes.
Well, it's projection, right? Because I don't really apply the term terrorism to homophobia. I've not done that. But if I were to look at the issue of those who are gay and those who are bigoted against gays, if I have to pick which one of those is closer to terrorizing a different group, how could anyone argue that those who are trying to make discrimination of an entire group of people based on who they're attracted to from birth illegal, or make their actions criminal, or prevent them from having the same rights as straight people, those are the ones who are terrorizing? How could anyone say that just by being gay, you're a terrorist?
Terrorism is using fear to get what you want, isn't it? I mean, isn't that exactly what Pat Robertson does?
Absolutely. And people need to not fall prey to this idea that, we often hear, if a lot of people will hear what I said today, and they'll say, David, you've offended me based on my sincerely held religious beliefs. This thing about being offended has become such a hiding place for those who are religious to hide from the realities that what they're saying is, in many cases against the law, certainly discriminatory, certainly bigoted. When you say, your establishment of religion that you're proposing goes against the separation of church and state, that's offensive to me because I'm a Christian. Do not allow yourself to be bamboozled by claims of offense. We have a voicemail. Yeah, go ahead, Liz.
And certainly do not be afraid to offend someone who is religious.
Yeah, no, I mean, you don't want to offend people by insulting them, right? But don't be afraid to back away from an argument where you believe the facts are on your side for fear that they'll just hide under this veil of being offended, right? I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah, state your point. Fight your battles and don't worry if you offend them, or even if you think you're going to offend them. Just come out with it.
All right. Very specific advice from Lewis there.